Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and can I thank the Prime Minister for advance sight of her statement. I have to say I find myself once again agreeing with the Right Honourable Member for Rushcliffe. There is perhaps the possibility that we extend Article 50 beyond the end of June, and in that light can I give a helpful suggestion to the Prime Minister. The Scottish National Party are already putting in place candidates for the European elections. Can I suggest the Conservatives might consider doing the same? Mr. Speaker, there are only 19 parliamentary days until Brexit Day, yet the Prime Minister wants to delay the meaningful vote up to the 12th of March. Why? The 12th of March, only 10 parliamentary days before Brexit. We have lost 9 days when this issue could have been resolved. The Dutch Prime Minister says we are sleepwalking into a no-deal scenario. There was no breakthrough in a 45-minute meeting with the German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Council President Donald Tusk said an Article 50 extension would be the rational decision. Although, Mr. Speaker, that would suggest that this government is capable of making rational decisions. There is little evidence of that. Prime Minister, your strategy to run down the clock is disastrous. Isn't it the case that you continue to fail to reach an agreement on the backstop? Isn't it the case that you cannot get the alternative arrangements on the backstop you promised at the end of January?
I'm not trying to get any alternatives to a backstop. Through the chair, man. Mr. Blackford.
Mr. Speaker, isn't it the case that the government cannot get alternative arrangements on the backstop that were promised at the end of January because the EU will not renegotiate? The EU has repeatedly made it clear the withdrawal agreement is non-negotiable. What is it that the Prime Minister does not get of that? Prime Minister, businesses and citizens are worried about no deal, worried about the supply of medicines, worried about the supply of food. It is the height of irresponsibility for any government to threaten its citizens with these consequences. And you know, the Prime Minister sits and laughs at what she's doing to the people of the United Kingdom. What a disgrace. Mr. Speaker, this Prime Minister indicates she simply is not fit for office. Prime Minister, will you accept the overwhelming advice of business, of MPs and your Cabinet? Rule out no deal, extend Article 50, but do it today. This should not be left until the middle of March. Mr. Speaker, we can't trust this Prime Minister. Parliament should take the opportunity to impose the timeline that she has set out today, so that the Prime Minister can't dodge this.
Prime Minister.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Right Honourable Gentleman made various references to the discussions with the European Union. He asked why the meaningful vote was not being brought back this week, or had not been brought back before the latest date of the 12th of March. The answer to that is because we are taking this time to negotiate the changes required by this House in relation to the deal that we negotiated with the European Union. And that includes the work that has been done on alternative arrangements, as I indicated in my statement. Further work on those alternative arrangements has already been agreed with the European Union. So all those questions about there not being an opportunity to renegotiate, not being an opportunity to get any changes, no, that is not the case. We are in talks with the European Union, and we're talking about the issues, that this House required. And then finally, he talked about uncertainty. The uncertainty of not having the arrangements in place. Can I just say to the Right Honourable Gentleman, if he wants to end uncertainty, if he wants to deal with the issues he raised, if he wants to end the uncertainty and deal with the issues he raised in his response to my statement, then he should vote for a deal. Simples.
Ian Duncan